Everybody, welcome back to another episode of FSi DFS Fantasy NASCAR Picks. I'm your host, Mario 31. We have the Sports Clip Haircut VFW Help a Hero 200 at Darlington. Love the Southern 500 Darlington racetrack Labor Day weekend. Hopefully everybody's having a good one. College football is back today. Speaking of that, if you're interested in your state lets you, mine doesn't play DFS college football. You can go to the information of our video, and there's a link to sign up for our FSi DFS Discord. We have a college football forum. We're not putting out cores every single slate. We're going to do them but Rod, who is one of our owners here, does really well in it, and it's been posting his thoughts so far for our first couple slates this season. Has been going pretty well, and it's absolutely free. So if you don't even have to sign up for a subscription or anything, just get into the Discord and look for the free room. So on to the racing here. Again, I apologize. I know some of you hate these. I know some of you don't mind these, but qualifying and practice is about an hour away now. So I just want to get this video out quick just to give you kind of an insight that I'm going to work. So I won't be able to do a video after we have the actual information. So it's another speculation video. So if you want to turn it off at this point, I understand. But did a lot of research, a lot of comparable tracks, high tire wear track. Unfortunately, this is a hard one to predict too, because you're going to need some dominators in this race. And you've got like 5 cup guys in here. I think you have Hamlin, Larson, I know Chastain's in there. Maybe it's only 4, but as we in Kyle Busch, so there's 4. So I mean that could really shake things up. Kyle Larson was in this last time, ended up winning it. So but he was in the 10 last time. Kyle Busch is in the 10. He's in the 17. Hendrick's car this time. So let's just go through it. So how did I figure this out? I took data from tire wear tracks from Darlington Spring Race. So they race here, and I heavily relied on how they perform there. And then Dover, Auto Club, and Richmond are also tire wear tracks. So current season form also, and their starting positions based on kind of how they qualified for last race. So John Hunter Nemechek got the pole last time. He was I think if he does get the pole here again, he's going to be the 3rd prime play. So there's only 2 prime plays listed, but the prime play is going to be the pole, whoever has the pole here, unless it's some fluke thing and somebody like Dawson Cram or somebody gets the pole, and it's just they just set their car up for one hot lap and it's not going to last. So if you look at it, if it's a formidable driver, if they had good practice speed and good long run speed, then they're definitely going to be the prime play that you want to start your lineup with, because they'll probably get out there and lead early. The other person to look at is, if they're not the one, is whoever's starting 2. If you think they can get around them and start in the beginning of the race and get out there, then they're good too. So Nemechek, if he's there. If not, he's a GPP, finds trouble a lot. Hamlin is a GPP. Just the price is just kind of hard to get in. I want to prioritize Larson after I saw what he did here. Even though it's a different car, I think he'll be good. Hamlin's definitely in play. If Hamlin has the pole, then I'll have to try to kind of figure it out here with them, and I probably won't have Allgaier as a prime play, but Hamlin I definitely will play in some GPPs. Mayer was 4th in the poll last time here. Did really well here. Struggled a little bit more on the other tracks. So I put him as GPP. Cole Custer, he, besides Auto Club, has a really, and he had some struggles early in the season, but he's been really consistent, and he ranks number 2 on my models. So like him in cash. Chandler Smith, he struggled here at Darlington, but since then he's been really good. It was really good in Richmond, so I think you play him in cash. Creed is always a GPP for me, just because he's so volatile. Retzlaff, I don't know if he'll qualify this high again. Obviously, I only have him projected for 12 DK points here, but again, we have to see where he really qualifies. He ran in the 20s most of these races, so if he starts anywhere from 22 on back, then I think he's a cash play. If not, he's a GPP or a fade. Sammy Smith, GPP. Dover and Auto Club did good. Darlington and Richmond, not so much in the 20s. So I don't know where he's going to land here. He's got a good car, good team, so he's going to be GPP. Austin Hill fighting Nemechek for the regular season title. He's got a decent lead on him currently, so we'll just have to see how that plays out. I think you can play him in cash here. Really good at Darlington, really good at Dover, really good at Auto Club. Richmond, a little bit of a setback, but his numbers are great. So especially if he qualifies on back or has the pole, then strong cash play and a prime play if he starts number 1 or 2, depending on who is up there with him. Brandon Jones, GPP, not necessarily his style of track. His numbers look kind of like Sammy Smith's here, where Darlington Auto Club, he was horrible. Dover and Richmond, he was good. Overall, he ranks 10th, but again, he's just too volatile sometimes and inconsistent to be a cash play. Kyle Busch, GPP, again, it's Kyle Busch, but I just haven't seen him come and dominate in Cup or not in Cup. Well, he has won a couple of races in Cup, but hasn't been absolutely dominant. But in trucks and in Xfinity this year, he just hasn't been there. I just can't pay 11K. I'd rather take Larson. I'd rather take Hamlin in the Joe Gibbs All-Star car. I don't know Larson won in this car, and this colleague car is the All-Star car also, but I don't think it's as good as like what Larson and Hamlin will have. So a GPP definitely. And maybe I'll start my GPP lineup with Hamlin and Busch and then go from there, unless they're in a spot where I think they'd be a cash or a prime play. Hemrick is a GPP, again, a bit inconsistent, about like 11 overall average here. So I mean, if he starts way down in the back, of course, he's going to become a cash play. If he starts outside the top 15, probably. But other than that, GPP. Barry can be a cash play, unless he's like probably up in like the top 5 or so. His average finish is 7.5. So if you want to take a screenshot of this, I think the general rule is if they start below what their average, this column right here, AU here, if they start below what this average is, then they become more of a cash play. If they're starting at it, then they're a GPP. If they're starting way above it, then they're going to probably be a fade, unless they're a really good driver. Brett Moffitt, I'm usually the Brett Moffitt whisperer. Again, I don't know where he's starting here, but looks like his average is 14.5. I have him qualifying, or I think he started 14th last time. I had to put Kyle Busch in here because he didn't race last time. So everything from 12th on down actually started last race 1 position higher. So he started 14th. I think he can end up in the top 15, top 20. So if he'll become a cash play, definitely if he's 15th on down. Sieg and Burton, again, depends on where they start. They're usually GPP plays unless they start way down, and then they could be like value plays for place differential. Allgaier is a prime play. He didn't qualify well last time. He hasn't qualified well on these tracks, but he has also had good long run speed and is actually number 3 in overall average. So like he's going to be the prime play unless, like I said, there's somebody else that starts on the pole that's highly expensive and I can't get 3 kings in my lineup without finding the right value that doesn't make me want to throw up in my mouth. Riley Herbst, I have him as a cash play here because he's fighting for there's 2 more races before the playoffs, and there's Hurst and Klingerman are the only ones that can point their way in at this point. The other guys in light blue are ones that can make it in if they win a race. So Retzloff, Brandon Jones. So, I mean, there's some incentive for him there. Moffitt could, but I mean, he's been consistent, but like winning a race, I don't see, especially with all these Cup guys in here. Herbst, I mean, of course, if he wins, he gets in, but I think he'll be playing the point game. So I don't know if he's going to be able to win the race. It might hurt him in if he's trying to stay out for stage points and lose his track position pitting after the stage breaks instead of before to try to gain track position. So we'll see how happens that. But the next 2 are GPPs, Clement and Alfredo, both of which are, again, trying to make the playoffs, would have to win it. Highly unlikely here. I don't think that's going to be part of the strategy. I think they're going to go out there and do what they can just to have a successful day. Ross Chastain, GPP, like he's raced, his GMG car is not great. Even though I don't know if it has like Trackhouse or like Hendricks or other like type of backing behind it, but still he's raced it a couple of times and he's been like mediocre, nothing super exciting. Auto Club 24th, Darlington 17th. So not a huge Ross Chastain fan, but the price is nice. So for GPP, I like it. Dawson Cran's probably a fade here. Even though he's an Alpha Prime car, he's a good driver and stuff. It all depends on where he qualifies. So fade might be too harsh, might be a GPP, but I think that I have him qualifying too high up in my model here, so I'll just change this to a GPP. I think he's okay. He's not like horrible. There's a nice little cash range here between Klingerman, who needs the win or needs the points. Heim, who's a really good truck driver and a really good car in Sam Hunt Racing. Gralla, who's had consistencies in Sam Hunt Racing. I think depending on where these guys qualify, if they qualify anywhere, probably, you know, if you look at their thing that's in the 15th, if they qualify anywhere beyond 20th, like 20th on down, cash plays, great fill-ins for your lineup and great way to get some of these higher price guys in. Josh Williams to the GPP. I mean, if he wins, he can still make it in. I like playing him because he seems to usually be solid. 24th overall. So if he starts outside of like 24 on back, then, you know, if he finishes where he starts, he makes value and he's a nice value for your lineup. If he starts higher than that, then it becomes more risky and more of a GPP play. Parsons, Greenlight Racing. I just don't trust the tech here. It all depends. If he's starting like dead last or in like the 30s, I think he's playable, but I don't think so. Sieg usually doesn't qualify well, but usually does well in the race, and his equipment's better than the attrition of some of the other lesser equipment. So if he starts 28th on back, then I think he'll be fine. Emmerling, don't trust the Emmerling Gase cars. Ryan Ellis, he might be a GPP. I don't think, like, he runs regularly and his equipment's better usually than some of the other ones. So I think Alpha Prime's fine. Kruth is good. Again, starting position here. Look at if they start beyond 25th on down, then the lower down, the better. Matt Mills has always been a good driver in this series and in truck series. So the equipment here is what scares me. So that's why I'm a GPP, but he might be a fade. But if he looks really good in practice and qualifying, then go for it. Pool's a fade unless he starts towards the back. The JD Motorsport cars I don't trust as much, and Weatherman's car usually seems to be better than Pool's, but Pool has put together some solid races this year. So again, you have to see where they qualify. But then Joe Graff Jr. is always a fade for me. He just always ends up wrecking. He qualified like 36 last time. Blaine Perkins is between Blaine Perkins, Chad Fincham, and Timmy Hill. One of these guys is not going to make it. My bet's Timmy Hill because this 66 car has just been horrible and really slow all year long, and tech issues. So I'm not interested in any of these drivers. Blaine Perkins, I believe, was the first guy out in Talladega Daytona last week. So I'm not going to play them. So I know it's kind of a short video and not a ton of information, but as you can see like where they place. You can see how they run on tire wear or tracks, and like if you just look at it, like Allgaier pops there as one of the regular Xfinity drivers. You have these Cup drivers in here, and then you can see their wins and how they've done in performing at this track in Darlington, which is a tough track, the Lady in Black. But I think you get your Darlington stripes too for get too close to that wall. It's I'll leave a mark there. So just love having this like classic track and on the weekends of Labor Day and everything. It's just so much fun to watch. So hopefully you enjoy it. If you have questions, put them in the chat below. Hit me up at MegaRower31 on Twitter/X. If you want more information on FSi DFS, like I said, get in for college football for free, or check out our other things. You can go to our website, see what our subscriptions are. And then if these videos help you, then please subscribe to our channel, and go ahead and share with your friends. It just helps us out more. So appreciate you watching. Good luck in your contests, and I'll see you for the cup video either later tonight or tomorrow morning.